You have failed this omelet. What is going on, guys? It's Fail34, and today I'm here with my Arrow Season 4 Episode 1 review. Straight off the bat, I thought this episode was pretty well done. So this episode started off, on a somber note. It was, just kind of Oliver and Felicity. We see them now a couple months after Season 3 and the events that happened, and they're just kind of living life, them two, in love, doing what couples do, enjoying some brunch with some friends. It's great to see these characters, seeing what has happened after the events of Season 3 and where they're going forward in this season. And as we know, this doesn't last for too long, of course, because, the woes of the real world and Star City start to occur. Red Arrow, which is Speedy, and Laurel will have to, deal with this. We actually get to see our characters back, like Diggle, and you know what? I personally think that the helmet doesn't look too bad. On pictures and, behind the set photos, it looks stupid. It's kind of like, why is Magneto... What happened? On screen, it's not that bad. I understand the purpose of it. It's supposed to protect him from bullets and stuff because he's more for real about, being a super hero and helping out. But it works. It's okay. Moving forward, we are then introduced to the big bad of the episode, which is Damien Dark. This guy is definitely going to be a formidable foe. Like, you can't even, let him hold you for 3 seconds or you die. Oliver is going to have some really bad trouble. He's going to give him a run for his money this season. For those wondering, Damien Dark is a character from the comic books, and he is not a metahuman, if you're wondering. He actually has some mystic, quote-unquote, powers that Oliver just knows from the past because Oliver's been through everything. So he knows that stuff. And of course, Oliver actually comes back, and him and Diggle have some beef. They do not like each other because of what happened last season with, Oliver putting Diggle's family in danger, his wife and his daughter, though he still's not having it. I mean, this is great. We're gonna have to see, the rebuilding of their relationship throughout this new season. And, there's this one scene where Oliver gives orders to the whole team when he comes back eventually, and he kind of just tells them, here, we need to do this, this, and that. And Diggle's not having it at all. He's just there the whole time like this, like, I used to like you, but I don't like you anymore, but I still don't like you. We also find out in this episode, Oliver and Felicity are very, very close to the point where he's actually getting to marry her. He's actually has a ring from his mother, which he's going to propose to her. Pretty much, Damien, he goes up to Officer Lance and some of these higher up people in the community, and he tells them, I'm going to do this. You better watch out. Pretty much, he gives them a straightforward threat, and for some reason, when people start dropping like flies, they are all surprised. Like, he told you that I'm pretty much gonna kill you guys if you don't listen, and they die and they're acting surprised. So pretty much the episode, they figure out Damien Dark's evil plan. He's gonna try and explode the new Star City station, and the team gets back together and they decide to figure out a new plan to stop him. Felicity gets a target on where they're actually headed to, and Oliver suits up in his brand new costume. What do you guys think about the costume? I thought it was actually pretty nice. I mean, it has the more, short sleeve look like in the comic books. Overall, I like it better than the last season. So, of course, it is an Arrow without the flashbacks. In this episode, Oliver gets flashbacks at least 4 or 5 times. I missed the count. He gets one from catching a bottle of champagne. Pretty much in the flashbacks in this episode, Oliver, gets drugged, and then he ends up getting on an airplane, which is probably by far one of the funniest scenes in this episode. Oliver wakes up drugged, and he's in this plane, and he has to put on a parachute when a gun is at his head. And he ends up looking out of the plane and seeing the island. And he's like, wait, am I on? And then poof, he gets kicked out of the plane. No, Jack, no. We then get to the last part of the episode where it is the final battle. Here we finally get to see Damien Dark in action. We don't just see him far away, touching somebody and they die. We actually see him one-on-one with the Arrow in the truck. This guy is really OP. Like, I have no idea how they're gonna handle his character because, the Arrow, he's strong in his own way. He shoots arrows. He's very, smart the way he thinks and strategizes. But, this guy has, crazy powers, godly powers, so it's gonna be interesting to see how he deals with it. By far, one of the coolest scenes in the episode was when Damien actually stops the arrows in that one-on-one, and Oliver and him have a great action scene. That was probably the best action scene in this episode. He threw him into a pipe, and the pipe bent, and I was like, damn, Oh my god, it's crazy. And of course, Diggle comes in the way and saves Oliver right before he almost dies. This is really important because, you know, this is showing them building that connection, like I said. You know, they're starting to make steps towards rebuilding what they once had. It's gonna take a while to do so, but, you know, that was a good, you know, foot in the door. Pretty much in the last beat of this episode, we see that Oliver, you know, he kind of accepts this new role that he has. He doesn't want to be the Arrow anymore, but he wants to be this new persona of hope, and he doesn't want to embody the darkness no longer. He ends up actually going on in front of all the TV cameras and, you know, announcing, I am the Green Arrow, and I'm here to protect this city and stop these ghosts and these villains who are trying to ruin it. The Green Arrow is essentially what the Arrow couldn't be. Damien Dark actually has Lance on a leash. Alliteration right there. He kind of like tells him, you have to do what I'm telling you or else, you know, you're gonna die. Damien Dark, like, he's doing some voodoo shit. Like, he's like cutting himself open and like weird, like freaking like symbols are coming out of his hand. And the final scene of this episode, sort of the bonus clip, is actually 6 months later. We see Oliver and Barry in front of a funeral, and they're just kind of chatting it up, and something happened. Someone obviously died. This caught me really off guard. This is 6 months later. This is probably going to be the very end of the season, and Oliver's like really distraught. Like, this guy is shaken by someone being dead. The first thing that came to my mind was like, Felicity. So guys, you know, this premiere did what a premiere should do. It introduced us to the characters from the last season. You know, it showed us a big bad villain for the rest of the season, who was intimidating as hell, by the way. And, you know, it shows these complicated relationships, you know, between Oliver and Speedy. I'm really looking forward to the rest of this season. I hope you guys are too. If you guys like this video, don't forget to go give it a thumbs up and subscribe if you have not already. So guys, who do you think Oliver is crying over? Leave a comment in the comment section below. I personally think it is Felicity, but something also tells me like that's a little too obvious. Like, I'll be really surprised if it was like Diggle or something. Like, he spends whole entire season, you know, building the relationship together, and then he ends up dying. Also guys, what do you think about the new costumes, you know, the new Green Arrow suit, the name Green Arrow, the name Star City? I'm gonna go ahead and give this episode a 7.5 out of 10. Alright guys, so that is my season 4 episode 1 review. I hope you guys enjoyed it. I'll see you next time on my next review. Peace.